ready, Grandpa?
I'm ready.
You ready, Uncle David?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Start it up. Grandpa, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good, good. All right, so we're going to do an interview today. Something to archive your life. Let's go ahead and start with the fact that you're my grandfather. And I thought a good space to start would be if I could ask you to remember your grandparents for me.
The only grandparent that I remember is my maternal grandfather. No, that's not true, because a step-grandparent. I'm trying to think of Grandma Rose Craton. She was a step-grandmother, yes.
Okay, tell me about her. Do you remember anything about her?
Not, well, Grandpa Mull, Mother's father, lived with us. I just remember him probably, I don't know, I was young, maybe 8, 10 years old. And, you know, he was a hunched over older man. He used to walk in stick and, or a cane or whatever you want to call it. And unfortunately, the big thing I remember is aggravating the old man. How we would, Patty and I would go out and swing on the clothesline, and he would come out shaking his walking stick at us. Yeah, that's primarily. He slept in the front room of that house, Mama Craton's house there in Bluesville. And at the end of his life, Harold had to stay in the room with him because he was falling a lot and he was hurting himself when he fell.
Do you know exactly what he was suffering from? Did he have some kind of old age?
Old age.
How old was he at that time?
He was hitting 90.
And that's on your mother's side?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't
My
know
father.
your father's parents at all?
No.
No? Well, tell me a little bit about your father. I know he passed away early in your life. What do you
don't know.
remember about him? Anything?
I know he passed when I was, he passed, I think, in January, and I was 2 years old.
So you don't have any recollection of him?
So I have no recollection at all of him.
So who was the father figure in your life then?
I don't remember a father figure.
So you were pretty much a self-starter early on then?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
No, I don't, there's no, I don't remember a father figure as such.
Well, your mother then must have had a huge influence on your life.
Oh, certainly.
Well, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, my mother, her biggest thing was that she just preached to us continually, no one can take away your good name. She was a very proud person, and she was very protective, if you will, of her good name. Since this is a kind of a taped interview, I won't get into details, but
That's kind of what we're here for, is to get into details.
no, I'm not going to start naming names.
Okay.
That would have, she would have gotten very unhappy.
Oh, well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we leave that at that.
Anything else you want to talk about with her?
With my
Any
mother,
specific stories you remember about her?
You know, the big thing I remember about Mother, strangely enough, other than what I just talked about, was she loved hats. And she would spend, relatively speaking, a lot of money for a nice lady's hat.
Was that the fashion of the time, pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was standard at that
She
time.
she loved hats. To having a nice hat.
Do you have any that were your favorites that you
No.
recall?
I
So-
don't remember one.
I know you played football. Did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
I tried to, but I wasn't. No one ever taught me, for instance, baseball. How to look a baseball in when it leaves the pitcher's hand. No one ever taught me anything about playing any other sport.
You were pretty good at football, though. You won some championships. Tell me about your
Well-
experiences playing football.
Our little team, this was about of course, I don't know how old I was, maybe 10 or 12 years old, but we won the county championship.
How'd that make you feel? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it made me feel really good. They gave each one of us a little gold football, and I'm gonna go ahead and name a name.